BDC's Ecom Education Vlog. My name is Ben, and I'm the Marketing Director at No Issue. Today we're going to talk a little bit about custom packaging. So what is custom packaging? What different types and methods there are of using custom packaging? And finally, how custom packaging can help you. So first things first, let's talk about what custom packaging actually is. So ordinarily a box will arrive at your doorstep and it'll look something like this. That's a regular brown box. What you want is something a little bit more special, something that says a little bit more to your customer. It looks something like this. A custom box isn't necessary for your brand, but it does say a lot about what your brand represents. It gives your customer something special, something a little bit extra, and it makes it almost like a little surprise when it comes to the doorstep. They'll be happy to get it. What are some different packaging types? Let's see, you've got tissue, stickers, boxes, tape, ribbons, a personalized note, packing peanuts or styrofoam. Pretty much anything that goes into that box when it's on its way to the customer, including the box, that's the type of packaging. With all those different options for packaging, there are a few more variables that you're going to have to consider when it comes time to making a decision on what you want your custom packaging to be. The first one is always going to be cost. So because you're printing something customized and special for your brand, it's going to cost more than just a regular brown box package or plain tissue paper. The next thing you have to think about is the time. So it takes a little bit more time to print on a box, especially when that's a custom printed item for you. And that means they have to make a new die line and ship it to you. So that's always going to take a bit longer than a typical brown box. And last but not least, you've got to think about the quantities of the packaging that you're ordering. So this will influence both the cost of what you're finally going to go with and your choices as to what packaging you use. For instance, a box might come in a minimum order quantity of 1,000 boxes. That's a lot of boxes, especially considering that a box can cost up to $5 per unit. With that whole order, you're paying about $5,000 just for your packaging. On the flip side, you could go with ribbons, which obviously cost a lot less, but they don't really cover your entire product. So trying to wrap something in a ribbon isn't really practical in a way. Tissue, on the other hand, is a great little middle ground where what you get is something that can wrap your entire product at a low cost. Your minimum order quantities are important to think about because if you can get something at 250 units, that can end up influencing what you go with in your packaging decisions. One last thing to consider is the environmental impact that your packaging has. Now, this is just a note, but there's a lot of plastic in current packaging. And if you can reduce the amount of plastic you're using or in some way use recycled materials or anything else that has a positive environmental impact can be beneficial for your brand and for the earth. And that brings us to the last point, which is what can custom packaging do for your brand? Well, the first thing is your customer is going to get an amazing unboxing experience. That's when they get the package, they open it up, and it fosters a sense of curiosity and care that you've put into your packaging. In a .com distribution study, this actually proved to increase customer loyalty as well as repeat purchases. And those repeat purchases, as you know, are always going to be better than trying to go out and find a new customer. That brings us to our next point, which is that people are going to share it on social media. Anytime you see someone having an unboxing video on YouTube, that's because they've gotten a package that's amazing and looks great, and they want to share that with their friends. Now, the last point is that as a brand, when you send out a custom packaged item, you're actually making your brand seem more upscale. You're impressing people with the thought and the time that you've put into their experience, and that's always going to be beneficial and look good when it comes to your brand. Hopefully you've learned a little bit more about custom packaging, what it is, what to think about when you're ordering it, what different types there are, and ultimately how it can help your business. From us at No Issue, that's a wrap.